Miss Frances Angelina's Heart for Children and Families, a behind-the-scenes mini-documentary, narrated by me, Father Virtue of Virtueland. Miss Angelina's heart for children and families is what motivates her understanding that the need for uplifting, virtue-centered materials has never been greater. She is driven by knowing that her business, Virtue Pops in Education and More, LLC, and its products can give children and their caregivers the emotional and moral tools they need in today's challenging world, while making values and virtues come alive in both education and entertainment. She measures success through sales, business growth, and meaningful feedback from parents, teachers, schools, libraries, churches, and caregivers. Through virtue-rich storytelling, emotional learning tools, and wholesome creative content, Miss Angelina has worked quietly and faithfully to lay the foundation for a value-virtue movement that strengthens children, supports families, and restores hope in the places where young hearts are most influenced, including the home, the classroom, and the digital world. And now, the story gently continues with Mother Virtue of Virtueland.
One family moment that gave birth to the Value Virtue movement. Narrated by me, Mother Virtue of Virtueland. Miss Angelina is motivated by a defining moment that began in 2009 during a simple but cherished family experience. While her son was home on leave from the U.S. Coast Guard and Christmas shopping with his wife, Miss Angelina stayed home with her two young grandsons. Together, they built snowmen, enjoyed hot cocoa and crock-pot chili con queso, and searched for a fun, exciting, and educational cartoon or movie to enjoy. Instead, she encountered children's programming filled with violence, profanity, and disrespect. She turned off the television and chose board games and books. In that moment, she felt inspired to prove that children deserve uplifting, wholesome, and virtue-filled entertainment that complements their education. That moment of clarity became the spark that quietly gave birth to Miss Angelina's Value Virtue movement, a mission devoted to restoring values, virtues, and hope to children and families everywhere. And now, the story gently continues with the King of Virtueland.
The mission and purpose behind Miss Frances Angelina's work, narrated by me, King of Virtueland. Miss Angelina is motivated by the growing emotional, mental, social, and physical challenges children face today, at levels unlike any previous generation. As the founder, she created Virtue Pops in Education and More, LLC, to meet that need through uplifting, faith-centered, virtue-based literature that teaches, guides, and inspires young readers and the adults who care for them. Through her creative voice as author Frances Angelina, the Virtue Pops universe delivers wholesome, interactive learning experiences for families, educators, and children. Through colorful characters, uplifting storytelling, and values-driven adventures, the Virtue Pops, Bobble Pops, and Paradise Animals series bring values and virtues to life through read-along, read-to, and read-aloud storybooks, activities, and future multimedia formats. And now, the story gently continues with a Paradise Angel.
The Heart of Giving Behind Virtue Pops in Education. Narrated by me, Paradise Angel of Virtueland. Miss Angelina is motivated by a deep belief that every business should walk hand in hand with service and compassion. As the founder, she aligned her company with its charitable foundation, Happy Hands Help, to ensure giving back remains at the heart of the mission. Through this foundation, a portion of financial gain is intentionally set aside to help those in need, and to freely share Virtue Pops books with individuals and families facing sickness, suffering, or the stresses of daily life. This work exists to extend encouragement and hope through gentle hands, open hearts, and stories created to uplift. And now, the story gently continues with the talking big red picnic table. Miss Frances Angelina's Experience and Calling, narrated by me, the talking big red picnic table of Virtueland. Miss Angelina is motivated by her lifelong experience serving children and families through elementary education and special education, from kindergarten through 12th grade. As the author and founder, her compassion was further shaped by raising her own children and caring for many young lives in her in-home daycare, where she learned that giving time, love, and attention can be just as meaningful as financial support. This lived experience directly supports the mission of her enterprise as it expands into the children's book market. In 2025, Miss Angelina officially formed Virtue Pops in Education and More, LLC, to support the publication and growth of her virtue-based catalog, while using her foundation to help place books into the hands of children, schools, and libraries that might not otherwise have access. And now, the story gently continues aboard the silver, shiny ship.
Catalog of published works and upcoming releases, narrated by me, the talking silver shiny ship of Virtueland. Miss Angelina is motivated by the steady growth of her published works and the impact they continue to make. As of December 2025, the author has 18 books available on Amazon, including the first 3 books of the original Virtue Pops series, the 8-book Virtue Pops Rainbow Adventures series, the 6-book Virtue Pops What is Paradise series, and the recently released Virtue Pops Present A to M Paradise Animals Teen Short Stories, 2-book series, subtitled Hope, Heal, and Rebuild. Looking ahead, Miss Angelina is preparing upcoming releases, including Virtue Pops Paradise Animals Present N to Z Teen Short Stories Book 2, Virtue Pops Paradise Animals Adult Short Stories, as a 4-book series publishing through 2026, the Bobble Pops Activity Book, and the final 4-book series, Virtue Pops Creation, The Real Moral Truths. And now, the story gently continues with Teacher Grandma.
Miss Angelina's Classroom Mission and Graduation Vision for Students Nationwide. Narrated by me, Teacher Grandma. Miss Angelina is motivated by a bold classroom mission that places virtue-centered emotional learning where children need it most. As the founder, she recognizes that educators face increasing behavioral challenges, heightened student stress, and a decline in positive social interaction. To address this, Miss Angelina is committed to encouraging state departments of education to mandate a Psychology of Emotional Learning course focused on virtues life skills for elementary, middle, and high school graduation. Through developmentally appropriate storybooks, she equips parents, teachers, and caregivers with tools that reinforce positive behavior, emotional regulation, and moral understanding in wholesome ways that empower personal growth for all. Pop, pop, hooray! And many blessings of virtue to you. And with grateful hearts, we all kindly thank you for tuning in to our behind-the-scenes mini-documentary and for sharing this journey with us.